Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm great, Steve. It's good to see you. It's good evening here, but it's all
Oh,
the same.
good evening in Nova Scotia. Is it freezing cold there? I always think of Nova Scotia as somewhere that's really cold.
Well, it was about 6 degrees. I was just out photographing a family, and they were freezing, and it was windy, and it was probably -2 with the wind chill.
Could you explain to me how you get a family to even go outside in that sort of weather? How do you do
Well,
that, John?
we're used to this.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
You've sparked me up. That's fantastic that you're doing some shoots. So what's happening there in Nova Scotia? You're allowed to be photographing, and you're doing some family sessions? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, we are allowed to have five in the studio. Now, in another week, I think by June 1st, that's going to change. So, and outside is no problem. This was a family that was under one roof. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're allowed to do some things. I suspect in the next month, I am going to be busier than ever because next month being June is graduation month. Prom is a big deal here. I don't think it's a big deal in Australia.
No.
No, but prom is a big deal here. So we're going to brainstorm the next couple of days and come up with a real beautiful package that's really going to serve these kids because they're not going to have a prom. They're not going to have their graduation. So what can we do, to really create this incredible experience, like have a limo go and pick them up for their photo shoot and come here, and there's all kinds of ideas floating around. We'll have it catered. Well, we can make the biggest deal in the world with these kids. And I love
Well,
doing it.
and you always seem to come up with something grand. It's incredible, taking them to Vegas and
Yeah,
taking people over the place, which is pretty awesome.
yeah.
So, as far as making it something fantastic for them, picking them up in the limo, bringing them to their shoot, um, is there room at the studio for you to do like a little celebration so they can have some people there, or is it
Well, we'll have to see what regulations are lifted, but I have heard through the grapevine that they're going to allow 15.
okay?
So if 15 become available, then we could probably get three families,
Okay.
2 to 3 families, depending how big they are, to come. So maybe a prom couple and their two best friends
Okay.
could come and with their families. And yeah, I think we could, I just have to think some more. Maybe I'll call the local radio station because they always love my ideas and they love jumping on board.
Well, that's great. And do you get the media coverage when you do call them
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
happy to come
yeah.
in?
And they will co-promote. And the radio station is actually offering grants to some of their advertisers. So I applied for that and hopefully I'll get accepted and I wouldn't even have to pay for it.
Wow, that's fantastic. Wow, that's great. So
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. You're going to have three families. Um, do you find when you do collect the families that it affects the experience for the individual? How are you going to um,
I think having the
manage that?
families there, at least the parents, adds to it.
Okay, great.
I
But
don't find
then
it takes away. I think
their friends and their family, is that obviously you're going to do the shoot? You're not going to be doing any sales or anything on that day. You're going to bring them back
not a bad
individually
day.
for the sales.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Um, cool. So are you going to do a possible book or something
Possibly.
collecting all of these people? Because I kind of almost feel like this is one of those years where we need to be recording as much as we possibly can and putting as much as we possibly can out there.
Point.
And maybe getting them to write a story. And there's lots of places that you can get books printed quite easily these days.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a way of putting something on at the end of the year. Maybe, I don't know what you would
Yeah.
use the money, what you could potentially use the money from book sales for, or whether that's just extra income. I don't know.
One thing about mentioning anything to Steve, it's like throwing fertilizer, super powered fertilizer on an idea where it just goes like a chia pet. It's a good idea though. Yeah. Cause this is a different year.
Yeah, it is a very different year. And just looking at my kids, they're longing for some unity and some togetherness and some, they're not allowed to, they're still in isolation, so they're home studying still, and they're really can't wait to get back to school and see their friends. And given that Prime is such a big thing over there, given that you have all these important things that aren't going to be normal this year, I think you just need to find some compensating things so that people can feel like there's a collaboration or some togetherness. So I don't know, the book came to mind because then all those people that are coming in that are participating, it's that gathering of stories, it's that gathering of people. I know it's in a book, but
I think it's a great idea. We could have photography coverage from the time they're getting picked up in the limo to coming here. We could ally with a local restaurant, and they could go to dinner.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great to record the phone calls that you have for some of these people, then use that in your marketing as well.
Yeah.
As you're doing that, as you're doing those discovery calls, given that you're getting some media coverage, anyway, how awesome would it be for people to feel even more like a superstar because they're included in the, in the media coverage, and record some of those stories for people, and make that part of the package.
Yeah. And why not have the television? Why not alert the television as well?
Yeah, totally.
Because they're always looking for feel-good stories.
Yeah,